name is Danielle Smith, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I teach hip hop here at the Northampton Center for the Arts. I feel like dance and art making is something that predominantly the privileged have access to. And I've experienced in my own life where I didn't have the resources to be able to connect with dancers or creatives, right? So growing up and going to school, I've always wanted to integrate that. Like, how can we connect the people? How can we connect like the stories and the communities that we are part of with creating art through movement? So in my classes, I try to always go over the culture of hip hop and the history of hip hop. Like, where do these moves come from? Why are we doing this? What does this mean? And then how can we flip that and then create our own story from that? How can we like make it ours? Oftentimes people will come into the class and they're like, I want to look like, you know, a backup dancer for Bruno Mars, or I want to, you know, be on, what is that show? So You Think You Can Dance, right? But I really do take the time to like talk with the students in my class in the beginning and sometimes at the end, and really challenge that narrative of what a dancer or a mover looks like. Because we're all movers and we're all dancers and we all have stories to tell and we all have history and truths behind those movements and stories. I went to school at the University of San Francisco, and I studied performing arts and social justice, and my focus was dance. And so it just taught me how to create art, or how to think about art in a way that provokes social change, or at least starts the conversation for it. So after graduating college, I was trying to figure out, okay, I have this really weird degree in performing arts and social justice. How can I make a career out of this, or what do I want to do next? And I noticed that there is a program here in the Pioneer Valley that is called Dow Self AmeriCorps, and I'm currently working with the Community Music School of Springfield, teaching music but also teaching dance and creating pieces with the youth. I'm working with like kids from like preschool all the way to high school, but it's oftentimes the younger kids who will say the most profound things. For example, I had a youth say, how come we call black people but they're brown? And I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, that's an observation, but he's like 3rd grade, 4th grade. Like, I don't know if I would be thinking that young, but I'm like, okay, I don't know how to answer that, but maybe we can like create a song about the questions that we have about society or about rules that we have. I grew up in a poor neighborhood in Cleveland, and I didn't always have the same resources as more privileged people. And just being able to have creative spaces gives students the opportunity to express themselves, express the things that are going on in their head or in their community, in their world. And so this space in particular, and being able to work with youth, is like so vital, and so it's a passion of mine because I want to give them the opportunity to really change the narrative that people are telling them, like, oh, you're not creative enough or smart enough, or you can't do this because you're not that. I really want to break those barriers in my dance classes and say, you know, you can be whoever you want to be today. If you want to do the dance like a robot, be a robot while you dance, you know? But just giving them that freedom, because if they can feel free in a dance class, they may not become professional dancers, but when they grow up and somebody tells them they can't be something, they're like, no, I can absolutely be that thing. And I think that's so vital, especially for youth of color. I think it's just extremely important.